What is up, guys? Rick with RallySport and today we're going to be working on this Volkswagen MK7 GTI German thing. Anyway, I did a review yesterday on it. I test drove it. One of the things I pointed out was that it needed better induction sound, and so we're going to be fixing that with an awesome SNB intake today. So the SNB intake. Now this is probably an intake you guys aren't super familiar with because I'm not familiar with it either. SNB is big in other markets, and they reached out to us. They're like, yo, we've got this Volkswagen GTI intake. Do you guys want to test out? It's like, hell yes, right? So this is it. Now this is a fully assembled one, and I've got another one that's not fully assembled, so we need to get it together and get it on the car. But this is a really cool looking intake. Now SNB says like it's like over 99% efficient, flows like almost 30% better than stock, and realistically I'm not expecting, you know, crazy power from this. We'll probably get a little bit in the butt dyno, and I'm really just looking more for induction noise. But what this will do is if we go with, like, say in the future we go with like a downpipe, some sort of tuner on here, this is what's gonna, you know, allow this engine to kind of be uncorked. And so I'm pretty excited. Let's go ahead and take this stock intake off, and then we'll think about getting this new one on. That was incredibly easy. Literally the hardest thing was this little post right here. You just take off the clamps and just rip it up. Dang, go Volkswagen. Look how cool this little motor is though. Yeah, just the little guy. All right, so now what we need to do is I'm going to get the new intake out of the box, and we're going to put it all together. And I hope I know it comes with instructions, but I'm not very good at reading instructions. So we're gonna see if we can just kind of wing it here. So let's try that. Looks like we're not quite done with the stock intake removal, because I did bow down and read the instructions. We do have to remove the front valence there, or air dam, whatever you call that, and then move the power cable. So let's go do that real quick before we start assembling this intake. See, I keep telling you guys you need to read the instructions, but none of you guys ever want to listen to me. So anyway, because we read the instructions, I was smart enough to realize that we had to take the rest of that off. So we got that off. Now we can start working on putting together the intake. All right, we got the intake at least mostly built. This is what the instructions say to do. You know, install the grommets, run the tube through, put your little secondary air filter in there. And then now what we can do is bring that over to the car and at least get it mounted. And then I think we can go ahead and secure everything else up. So let's go ahead and do that. Boys, it is done. This is honestly one of the easiest intakes I've ever installed in my life. The only thing that gave me a problem was this little guy underneath there, putting that back in, and then this. That's, kind of have to slide it out to access the windshield washer neck. But other than that, everything went in beautifully. This is honestly a very well engineered piece. I actually like the clear. I didn't think I would, but I think it looks really cool. Plus, just the mass of this thing. I mean, look how little the engine is compared to that. If this is 2 liters, this is like 2.2 liters. It's obviously how you get all the horsepowers. So, what's next? Well, I want to test, one, a butt dyno, right? I want to see if I can feel any noticeable gain in power, and then 2, the sound. That's really what I'm doing this intake for, is just to bring some voice into this little GTI. So, let's go for a test drive. All right, with the intake installed, honestly, it's a super simple install, and it fits incredibly well. But the main thing that I wanted to talk about and test was just that sound. So the stock GTI sound, it had a nice, you know, sound to it, but let's test this one out. So I haven't done this yet. This is my first time. So let's see. I think this is a little bit quicker. I honestly think this is a little bit quicker. Hold on. Let me try this again. We're not gonna get a whole lot of traction here. It's definitely quicker. Okay, I was wrong. So I said, you know, oh, why don't you want to shift for me? There we go. I said that this would, oh, what the, that you wouldn't really see much horsepower gain. But the butt dyno does not lie. That's a bump in power. How much? I don't know. But that is a definite bump in power, and it might just be a little bit more torque. It might have a fatter power band, but that definitely feels a little bit quicker. But we were mainly wanting to talk about the sound. Let me go find another spot here to mess around. Actually, we could probably just flip around. Let's do that. Okay. So, we'll start from a dead stop. Now, I'm not just gonna punch it, because I kind of want to roll into it, just because we don't have much traction here and my sound equipment's gonna fly out. Okay, here we go. It's definitely a little bit more. You don't get a ton of sound. I was honestly expecting, okay, here's the conclusion. I was expecting less power, more sound, and we got just the opposite. I got less sound than I was expecting, but more power than I was expecting too. I really didn't think that would make this big of a difference. Now I know, you know, S&B or whatever their SB intakes says, you know, I can't remember what their claim is, but I'm sure they rate it on, you know, however. Would you go, please? Dude, what are you doing? Why? Okay, anyway, I'm sure they rated it, whatever they rated at, you know, marketing, blah, blah, blah. But I never believe manufacturer marketing at all. Like, it's just one of those things where, you know, I'm like, all right, if we did independent dyno tests and stuff like that, we could see, but you never really get quite, dude, this thing is quick. Like, that's a broken camera, maybe. No, that's a boost in power. Okay, that's impressive. Okay, now I'm like, now I don't really know what to say, because in my head I'm like, oh, okay, here's what I got to talk about. You know, oh, sounds so good. Oh, you don't get much power. But again, it's exactly the opposite. I don't know. What are you doing? I wish you guys could see this. Just people being dumb. Nice wave. Gotta be nice to everybody. So overall, I'm incredibly pleased. I did want a little bit more grunt, you know, to the sound, but instead we got more grunt to the power, and that's okay too. I'm happy with that. So next up, I think, next up I was gonna say, you know, and originally in my head I wanted to do springs or something to this, but I think now I might do an exhaust, just because I want that sound. I want to know what this engine sounds like uncorked, essentially, because I'm sure it sounds cool. You know, I'm sure it doesn't sound bad in any way, shape, or form. All GT. This is It's got a punch, man. It did not have that before. It did not have that hit. And it may not be like a ton more power, but you just have this like hit of power. Man, that's really cool. That is really cool. Okay, we're gonna end that there. Let me know what you guys think. Do you wanna see like springs, or would you guys rather see like an exhaust or something like that? Because I can do either one, and I'm thinking exhaust, but if everyone votes springs, then that's what I'll do. But either way, we're gonna end it. Appreciate you guys watching. We'll continue this on at a later time. I don't know if I'll be able to work on it tomorrow, but hopefully I'll be able to get this video up for you guys tomorrow morning. So we'll see you guys later.